Hey guys, for those of you who don't know me, I'm Alexiafaymakeup. I am from Hazard, Kentucky. And for those of you who do know me, hey, good to see ya. Okay, so today I thought I would do a tutorial on this rosy, pinky purple look, and I really love the way it came out. The silver on my lids, I'm just obsessed with it. If you want to see how to get this look, keep watching. Okay, so today we're going to start off our look by priming our face, and I'm going to be using the L'Oreal Paris Magic Perfecting Base. I got mine at CVS. It was probably around $7 or $8, but it really is one of my favorite primers that I've ever used. I like to put it generally around my T-zone because it's really great at smoothing. And I find that I have a lot of pores and texture in that area. So I feel like that's just a good place for me to put that. Sorry if you can't see because my hands are all over my face. But yeah. And prior to using my primer, I've already moisturized my face using the Mary Kay Time Wise Age Fighting Primer. Okay, and the next step on today's look, I'm going to be filling in my eyebrows. I prefer to do my eyebrows and eye area first as compared to like my face makeup, just in case of fallout and things like that, because I have a tendency to go a little heavy-handed on my eyes. And lately I have really liked to mix these two shades right here in the Smashbox Full Exposure palette to put on my eyebrows. It might be a little much for some people, but personally, this is how I like to do my eyebrows. And if you like to do yours a different way, that's fine. They may look a little messy at first, but I am going to go back and clean them up with a bit of concealer. Sorry if I'm looking a little bit off camera. I am trying to look in the little mirror on my full exposure palette. Okay, now I'm gonna take my concealer, and I use the Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer in the color Fair Neutral. I'm gonna take a little bit and put it on the back of my hand. Gonna find my brush that I like to use for this. That's not it. Here it is. Oops, sorry. I like to take an angled brush. This one is a little bit big, but it's fine, it works. And then I'll just take it and go slightly under my brow. And I'll try and carve out the tail quite a bit, because I like that really pointed end on my brow. And I just don't actually have that shape. So I'm just not fortunate enough for that. I'll take my finger a little bit and blend that out. Then I'll take just a little bit more, literally the slightest bit, and I'll take that above my brow just so it highlights a little bit. It makes it easier when I go in with foundation to blend it. Now I'm going to do the other brow off camera. Okay, now that I've got my eyebrows cleaned up, I'm going to take a little bit of the NYX Control Freak Eyebrow Gel. It's just a really nice clear eyebrow gel. I haven't really tried a lot of eyebrow gels, but this one seems to work pretty well. It always keeps my brows in place and keeps me satisfied, so that's all that matters. Okay, so the next step that I'm gonna do to get ready for my eyeshadow is I'm gonna prime my eyes using the Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion. Oops, sorry, kind of forgot how to English right there. Then I'm just gonna take it and dot some of this on my eyes and blend it out. I'm going to do the other eye off camera and then come right back. Okay, now that we have our eyes primed and ready to go for eyeshadow, I'm going to be dipping into my Morphe 35T palette, which looks like this. And I'm going to be dipping mainly into this color, which is a not so purpley but kind of mauvey brown shade. And I'm going to put that all over my crease. I wouldn't necessarily say that this is a matte shadow, but it's not glittery either by any means. It's kind of got a satin finish to it, which I find can be really pretty in the crease. Usually I will go for a more matte color, but this one works really great. I'm gonna take my little mirror and look right here. I'm gonna go in soft windshield wiper motions and blend that out. I'm gonna do the other eye off camera and then come right back. Okay, so now that we have that shade on, it kind of looks like we have a black eye. I'm gonna go in with my Naked 3 palette to highlight, and I'm gonna use the color Strange, which is the first highlight shade right there. And I'm gonna put that all over my brow bone. On my iPad, and honestly, the camera quality isn't that great, but I'm trying, and that's what matters. I plan on buying a camera as soon as I can save up and quit wasting my money. And who knows when that's gonna happen. So until then, okay, so now that I've got that blended out, I am gonna go in back to, I believe, yeah, the Naked 3. Sorry, I just had to come up with that right then. And I'm going to take the last shade, Black Heart, which is a black with a red glittery shift. And I'm just going to take that ever so slightly, tap off all the excess that I can, and then I'm going to darken the outer corner just a bit. Take that into the crease ever so slightly. Hopefully you can see this. Okay, and after I've got that shade on, I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. I'm sorry if it looks a little crazy right now, but I promise it will come together. Honestly, in my opinion, this could be the perfect Valentine's Day look. We've got those mauve shades going on, and it's kind of sexy and sultry. And that's honestly just what I would like to wear on my eyes during Valentine's Day. But we all know on Valentine's Day, I'm gonna be sitting right at home, probably with my girl Elizabeth and Colby. Who knows? Sorry if I totally went out of frame right then. Okay, and now that I've got that on, I am going to go in with the Stila Magnificent Metals and Diamond Dust, and I am going to apply that all over that lid area that we've not touched yet. And I'm going to go pretty heavy-handed with this because I really want this to stick out. Can we just appreciate that? We all know I love some glitter. let that dry just a little bit. Add a little bit more. Kind of taking it up in the crease a little bit. Just to make my eyelid look a little bit bigger. Because we all know I don't have the most lid space that I could have. But I'm definitely blessed with what I do have. Okay, I'm gonna let that dry and then I'll come right back. Okay, so now that I have this on both eyes, I went back in with that black heart shade from the Urban Decay Naked 3 palette just to darken up the edges and like the outer corners just a little bit for some extra depth and dimension. But now I'm gonna take my Kat Von D tattoo liner in Trooper and I am gonna apply my wings. And I'm also going to apply my lashes, and I'm going to do both of these off camera because I don't think I can stay in frame and do these. So I'll be right back. Okay, so I just went and I wet my really dirty Real Technique sponge that I got at Walmart. And I am going to put about a quarter size amount of the L'Oreal Pro Glow Infallible foundation on the back of my hand. I probably put way too much, but it's okay because I'm extra, and I'm just going to start applying that to my face, patting it on, trying to keep it from going on my lashes, but if that happens, we can always just put on some mascara over it and cover that up, so it's fine. Just picking up my mirror again because it's easier to see on the mirror than it is on my iPad. You can see it running down my hands. If you're not starting to look like you have a mask on, you're probably doing it wrong. I'm just kidding. Totally just kidding. Down. Try to keep it from getting my hair. Definitely just add some foundation over my eyebrows, so I'll have to fix that on camera. Okay. After dabbing that into my skin, I'm going to take my Urban Decay Naked Concealer once again in the color Fair Neutral, and I'm going to apply not a whole lot under my eyes, and then I'm also going to slightly apply it on the tip of my nose, a little bit down the bridge of my nose, just quite a bit on my forehead, and then a little bit on my chin and on my cupid's bow, to even out the rest of the face. And then I'm going to take the pointed end of my Real Technique sponge or your beauty blender or whatever you want to use, and I'm going to blend that in. Okay, and now that I have that on, I am just going to set my entire face using the Laura Mercier translucent powder. I'm going to take it on a little fluffy Real Techniques brush. I don't know the exact name. Oh, it's the contour brush, but I like to use this for under my eyes. I don't really bake, but I do like to put a little bit more under my eyes than I would on the rest of my face. Set my nose and my forehead, and pretty much everywhere I put concealer with this same brush. And then for the rest of the face, I'm going to take this fluffy brush. It is a powder brush, and it was from a Sephora holiday collection that I purchased a few years ago. It came with about 7 brushes, and they're really pretty, don't get me wrong, but they were a pretty penny. Being pretty generous with the amount of powder I put on, because I am a matte girl, but I like the feel of a dewy foundation, but I like to definitely set it down.
Oh, that's a lot of powder.
Okay, so now that I have set my face, I'm going to take my Kat Von D Shade Light palette, and I'm going to take the first contour shade, which is the coolest in the palette, I do believe. Definitely the lightest. And I'm going to take that, and then I'm going to tap off the excess. Then I'm going to run that on my cheeks just to contour. Not super heavily, but your girl definitely likes to be carved.
Got a bit of powder all over my palette.
I have to push my hair out of my face just a little bit. Run that on my jawline a little bit. I have a very round face. Okay, and then I'm going to take another little tiny fluffy brush from that same Sephora holiday collection, and then I'm just going to take a little bit of that contour shade on that to contour my nose. I don't go too crazy with my nose contour. Might not be able to fully get this on camera, but we'll see. Okay, and there we go. I'll run my powder brush over just a little bit to diffuse that. I'm gonna take it all over the face again, just to make sure everything is blended seamlessly. Then I'm going to take that same brush that we used for our under eyes and dip into the middle highlight shade in the Kat Von D Shade Light palette and go under the eyes just a little bit more to make sure they're bright and pretty and it looks like I've slept, because we all know I haven't. Okay, now that our cheekbones are pretty snatched and good to go, I'm going to take a fluffy brush, just a big powder brush, blush brush, whatever you want to use, and I'm going to take the e.l.f. Blush palette in light and take this corner shade right here and just slightly twirl my brush around in there and then really knock off most of that product and then slightly apply a little bit to the cheeks just for some color. I'm not huge on blush and sometimes I can go a little heavy-handed, but it happens, it's fine. Okay, next I'm going to finish off the eyes before I highlight, and I am going to take that same mauvey purple shade that I used for the crease and then just dunk into it a little bit, tap it off, and then run it very, very softly under the eye. I want to keep most of the focus on my upper eyelid. I don't know what I was trying to say right then. Okay, and then I'm going to dip into just a little bit of that black heart shade from the Naked 3 to darken the outer corner just a little bit. Into it again.
And I'm going to take that big fluffy brush again, and then I'm going to just blend that all together. And to finish off the eyes, I'm going to take my, that's not the right one,
Becca Cosmetics Shimmering Skin Perfector in Pearl, and highlight the inner corner of my eye. And now I'm just going to add some mascara to my upper and lower lashes. Thankfully, my mouth that is hanging wide open is covered by this palette. Okay, and now that we have our eyes finished, we are going to highlight the face. I'm going to be taking the Becca's Shimmering Skin Perfector in Prismatic Amethyst. It is a really, really pretty iridescent shade. One of my favorites. You probably can't see it. And that was my phone going off. But yeah, I'm just going to lightly spray my cheek area with some setting spray, and then I'm going to take another brush from the Sephora Holiday Collection from a few years ago, and then I'm just going to slightly highlight my cheeks. Oh, it's so pretty. And I'm going to take that same highlight and just hit the tip of my nose. Sorry. And then run it along the bridge of my nose as well. And then my Cupid's bow. Alright. And now I am gonna apply my lipstick. I'm gonna pick out a shade and then I'll be right back. Okay, so the shade that I'm gonna use is Deceased from Jeffree Star Cosmetics. It's one of his velour liquid lipsticks, and this is honestly one of my favorite shades. When I got my senior pictures done, I used this shade and it looked beautiful. Alrighty, now that I have my lipstick on, we are finished. Okay, so this is our finished product. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I know it's not the best quality, but it's good for, you know, what I have. I'll be working on getting a camera in the next few weeks so I can do better quality tutorials. I hope you all enjoyed, and if you have any suggestions or requests on looks for me to do, put them in the comments. Like this video, share, and subscribe.